This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Lovely.
So we're all drinking as leaves fall to the ground, because we've been thinking how October has let us down. Then and now, ladies and gentlemen, the Maastricht edition coming at you. Setting our tone for the show as always.
Hello, yes.
Good evening and welcome to the Maastricht edition here. It's Thursday. We've recovered from our birthdays. The hangovers have gone and we're back to our normal slot on a Thursday.
We are. And may I say, happy October, everybody.
Yes, the first already.
Yes, first of October.
OMG, yes it is. So we have a new month and new weather definitely to keep us. It's quite dreary out there, isn't it?
Well, do you know what? It's one of those, for me, it's one of those days a girl doesn't know what to wear. So I've got rain one side of the house, sunshine the other side of the house. The heating's come on in one part of the house and not in the other. I've got my hot flushes going on. I am in a constant state of undressing and dressing.
Well, this could be an interesting hour. Let's see if she keeps everything on, Matt.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. I think, let me rephrase that. Let's hope she keeps everything.
Oh, wow. We're open to everything here. We do not judge here on the Maastricht edition. So you go for it, girl.
See, you know when you're with your friends, when they let you get your boobies out on a live show on Facebook.
There you go. And after 3 years of being together, I think we can call ourselves very good friends, don't you?
We are. We are.
That's true.
Yes, well, normally we'd be having a big love fest when we're together. There's lots of hugging and stuff and socialising and whatnot. But now we're just.
I know. I miss you too, Joe.
You're so far away.
Anyway, here we are on the Maastricht edition. This month is Music Month, which means we've got loads of really interesting guests coming up over the next few weeks. From the music industry. And tonight is no exception. Agita's going to be joining us, soprano supreme, who is based here in Maastricht.
Yes.
She's also a vocal coach, which is something that we find very interesting when I'm going to have a chat with her about this evening. But before we get Agita on, and we have all the other segments, we always have a theme on the show, don't we?
We do.
This week,
we aim to please.
we do. And this week, we're talking mugs. Not somebody who is a mug, which is a very British thing to say.
Just wanted to
Very
point
rude.
out. Yes, we're aware we're mugs ourselves, but today we're talking about the other kind of mugs.
So what you stick your tea and coffee in, and of course for many of us, your tea or your coffee first thing in the morning is quite an important drink, having your brew in the morning. So, Tracy, what do you like before you've had that first tea or coffee in the morning?
Actually, I'm quite okay because I'm quite the morning person. So, yes. I know. But I tend to favour coffee actually these days, working from home and everything. But if I'm looking for that, comfort cup, I usually go for the tea, especially as I've now got my Irish tea in stock.
Barry's tea. Barry's going to be very happy that you've got his tea.
I got his tea and I'm keeping it. But my dear mum sent me this from Ireland because I haven't had a chance to get home. And so on days when I'm feeling blue or if it's generally a grey day, I reach for the cup of tea. But in the mornings, it's a coffee. How about you, Joe?
Me, I'm a tea girl. You'll never catch me drinking coffee. I'll always be tea, but it depends how I feel in the morning, whether I'm going to have a black tea or a green tea or a jasmine tea.
Ooh, all good choices, if I may say so. But with the black tea, you probably have builder's tea, right?
No, I don't. No,
Wow.
no. I don't have milk in my tea or anything like that. It's a straight black tea. And I know, and I usually go for something like a psalm for my black tea. So somewhere in the region of in North India, sort of like the borders up there, which I really like. But no, my days of what they call builder's tea. And maybe, Matt, you could tell our viewers what builder's tea actually is for those who maybe don't come from the UK.
Yeah, no kidding. This is the most British conversation I've ever heard.
Yeah. I have a builder's tea every morning and every afternoon.
Ah.
And builder's tea is very strong black tea with milk in it. And it's probably the colour of coffee, to be honest.
Yeah, indeed.
But otherwise, you can't get out of bed, which is why my teeth are a bit brown, because the more black tea you drink, all the tannins make your teeth a bit brown. And I think the dentist here doesn't understand that and thinks I'm doing something else. I'm like, no, it's just tea. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. People always think that it's like coffee or red wine that stains the teeth, but there's a lot of tannins in tea, and it's actually even used for dyeing fabrics and stuff as well, right? Yeah. So nice. Well, there you go. Now everyone knows.
What mugs have you got, Tracy?
Oh, well, I have got quite a collection of mugs. Now I'm going to let you into a little secret just between us. I collect I Heart mugs from around the world. It's my thing. Okay. Now I have a small selection of a large selection for you this evening. So let's start with one of my favorites, and this is my I Heart Brighton mug.
Well, I'm not surprised because Brighton is great. I like Brighton very, very much.
We love Brighton, and my dear dad bought me this in Brighton in August of last year when we were over there together. So this is a very special one. I have one with a little flashback to Helga, who joined us recently from Germany. When I was in the Black Forest, I've got my I Heart Titisee. Titisee, yeah, there you go. Fresh from the lake. And I'll do one more for now. This one is also a special one. This came all the way from Tokyo. And I bought this.
It's got cherry blossom going around
it. It does, isn't it? Isn't it lovely? And I bought this very late one night in the area of Shinjuku, and I remember buying it. I remember the shop and the kind of buzz that was going on. So that's very cool. And just one more. This one came from Crete, and it's got little cats on it, and it says Creek Lovers. So these are the types of mugs I tend to choose, and there's a small selection. What do you guys?
What about you, Max? Do you collect mugs?
I don't really collect mugs, but I have these two great mugs.
Employee of the month. Did you actually earn that?
So this one is the Asses and Donkeys Trust mug.
Oh, well, very good.
And this one is Employee of the Month, Steels Pots and Pans. Now, if there's any Balinkas listening, you'll know exactly what this refers to. If you don't, you'll all think I'm crazy. Because a Balinka is a fan of My Dad Wrote a Porno, which is a very popular podcast. And these mugs refer to the podcast because, no, I can't explain why. You'll have to listen to the podcast to find out why I have these mugs. But yeah, this one sadly broke though. We had to glue it back together, so I don't actually use it anymore. But this one is still in use.
That's nice. That's nice. Before I show you my selection of mugs, I want to say hello to Jane, who's in the house. Margalee's joined us, Dennis, and Adam, who says hello. So hello, everybody. Lovely that you're joining us. We're talking mugs, people.
Yes.
If we have a preference for tea or coffee, do you like it in a mug? Do you like it in a cup and saucer?
Ooh,
the debate.
Fancy.
Ooh, I do like a cup and saucer every now and again.
Well, I'm going to show you something in a moment. Ooh. So, those of you who have ever been to London, you will know that there is a very large M&M store. It's just off Piccadilly, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And so I bought myself a couple of M&M mugs. Aren't these adorable? So we have.
Oh, I was expecting a big mug with like Marshall Mathers, M&M.
Yeah.
It's like they have a whole store dedicated to him.
There which says, "Want a piece of me?"
Yeah. It's adorable.
Isn't that lovely? And then we have this one as well. I've got an orange one as well.
Nice.
Which says, "I'm irresistible."
Well, he is, he is. They're boys, right? These ones, yeah.
And they're very big. They're very big. And I do have one particular friend, Lucy, when she comes round, not that she's been round for several months, but when I used to have people come round, This would be, oh no, it'd be this one actually. She liked the red one. This would be her mug of choice whenever she had a cup of tea. She likes to have a bucket.
Bucket of
Now,
tea.
Going on with the, do you have a mug or do you have a cup for your tea or coffee? I want to show you, this is part of a set that I have, and I know you're going to love this, Tracy.
Really
So
nice.
this is a cup and saucer. It's very, very large. You can see, look, that's my hand on top. So you can see how big. It's absolutely massive. And this comes from a tea shop called Wittard, which is a posh tea shop that you'll find in various places across the globe. And I saw this and fell in love with it. This, I have to confess, is usually I put hot chocolate in it.
Ooh.
Because when I have a hot chocolate, I like a big hot chocolate. And the nice thing about having this big area here is that you can pop a load of marshmallows.
Now you're talking. You see, this is why I love this time of year, because you can have hot chocolate with marshmallows.
Yeah. So that's some of the mugs and cups and saucers that I've got, and I do love them. I don't know. There's something about taking out a special mug when you know you're going to sit down on the sofa, curl up, watch a film or a program or read a book or something, and you get that big mug and it's filled up with loads of hot chocolate, tea, or whatever it is you're drinking. Like, oh, this is nice. It's a cozy feeling, I find.
Yes, I agree.
It's not for summer.
No, and I'm not sure if this rings a bell, but I can't abide people who drink cold liquids from a mug. There are people who do that.
Yes.
Yeah, me and my family do that. Sorry.
Really?
Matthew, no!
Well, we won't be inviting them over for Christmas.
Or like Coca-Cola or something, like water.
Oh, no. A hot liquid for a mug. Otherwise, it needs to be a glass.
Absolutely.
Matthew, I don't think we can really be friends anymore. But we had a good run. It was 3 years.
Oh, well,
it started so well.
See you, Matt. Thanks ever so much.
Bye.
Anyway, for those of you who are listening, who are probably falling asleep by now, how long can you have a conversation about, for mugs, for goodness sake? Well, it turns out quite a long time. Yes. And we would like to know about you guys. Are you mug people? Are you cup and saucer people? Coffee, tea, hot chocolate? Do you need to have that coffee in the morning to wake up? Come on, talk to us. Let's find out what's going on. Margalie says hello to everybody. Mike's in the house. Hi, Mike.
Hi,
nice to join us. And we've got Liart Glass Kunst has joined us as well.
Oh, culture this evening.
I know. So don't forget, we're gonna be having some more culture later, because Agita's going to be joining us to talk about all things of a soprano nature, because of course it's music month here on the Maastricht edition.
Yeah.
But we do have to ask Matt something, actually, because of course we have put a challenge to Matt now. Challenge Matt. And this is all to do also with music, because Tracy and I, on alternate weeks, are challenging Matt to listen to a particular album that we feel is classic, possibly.
Yes.
A good old round, happy feeling album.
Yeah.
Soothing album. Best-selling album. There's all kinds of different reasons. And Tracy, remind us the album that you chose for Matt to listen to this week and why you chose it.
Yes, indeed. Well, last week we had the fabulous Fleetwood Mac with Rumours, very wonderful album, and Matt gave that an 8 out of 10.
He did.
And then I suggested that he listen to something maybe more modern, which was Counting Crows, and it was the album August and Everything After. And this was a choice of mine because I just love this entire album. I just love this band. I've seen them live several times back in the day where you could go to concerts.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And there's the famous song from the album is Mr. Jones, which is probably the most recognizable, but the other songs on there are even stronger in my view. So I recommended that one to Matthew, and it was a good choice for In the Bath, which is where we discovered Matthew likes to listen to his music. So I'm very curious what he thought.
Well, I didn't have a bath this week.
Oh.
I did shower, don't worry.
Okay.
But I listened to it while I was writing something for work, so I listened to it in the background. It was very good. was nice and chilled.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps you calm, which was necessary for writing that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was good. But I think I liked Omaha.
Oh, one of my favourites.
There we go.
Omaha is a great one. And in our Sunday Sounds, which is our little new segment on Instagram and Facebook, I shall choose Omaha as the example song from the album.
Aha.
Lovely choice, Matthew.
But I must confess, I didn't know any of those songs.
Oh, no.
Not even Mr. Jones.
No.
Wow. Yeah,
We just have to pause there, don't we? Because that's
But when
like-
is it from? Like
90s.
yeah, the 90s, I guess. I'm not sure if it's featured in any famous movies or anything, but they play it to death on the radio.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, it was. To be fair, I think at the time it was probably overplayed when it
Yes.
came out because it was just everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, Adam's chipping in. He's saying Mr. Jones is a classic.
Well, yes.
Now I know it.
It's now you know it too, Matthew. And Omaha and It Begins is also a nice one. And I love The Rain King as well. It was the more upbeat one on that particular album. So, and just FYI, they've also recorded a live version of this same album. And that's also very, very good as well. So if you're interested to extend your learning, you can have a listen.
Okay, I'll add it to the list. Hang on.
Yes, indeed. I'd hold on because I think Jo's going to add her next recommendation
Well,
to
I
the
can't
list.
pick this
Before
list up anymore.
I do that, we need to know what score. How many Matthews out
Oh,
of 10
yeah.
did you give this, Matt?
I decided it was worth at least an 8. Yeah, got an 8.
That's very good.
We'll take that. We'll take that. Very nice. A solid 8
So-
again.
Yeah, so it's the same as the Fleetwood Mac album. So a high praise indeed.
So
Yeah.
far, so good,
Well.
Joe.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give you an album for next week then. And I think I'm going a little bit left field here, actually. We're going to go down a funky route. There's a gentleman by the name of Beck.
Ah.
Uh-huh. The American gentleman who has been quite experimental over the years. But Prince has been a big influence on him. And I really like it when he gets down dirty and funky. So I'm going to nominate Midnight Vultures for you by Beck. Midnight Vultures, okay?
Doesn't ring any bells. Okay.
No. I thought it probably wouldn't. But yeah, okay. Midnight Vultures it is by Beck. Have a listen to that. I don't know if it's bath material, if I'm honest. I think it's could be cooking in the kitchen.
Yes, that's a good choice.
Do you think so, Trace? Yeah.
I'd go with that when you're kind of over some steaming pots and pans with a glass of wine in hand. That sort of a vibe, setting the table.
Yeah, because you're probably going to have a sort of you'll have a bit of a wiggle. That's what I think. A bit of a wiggle.
Okay.
So there you go. That is the album for next week. Midnight Vultures from Beck. Enjoy. Before we move on, Adam says that Counting Crows did a really good cover of Big Yellow Taxi.
Yes, they did.
They did, actually.
Yes, very nice. I'm happy to hear that Adam seems to be also a Counting Crows fan.
It would appear so. And I did see them, I think I mentioned this last week, I did see them a couple of years ago in Pink Pop. And I was pleasantly surprised because I'll be honest, I mean, I was aware of them, I had listened to them. I didn't really know what they were like as a live band, but once they got up there, it was a lot of energy. It was good. We all got into it, and when Mr. Jones came on, we all went a bit nuts.
Of course. Yeah, very interesting. Well, cool. I'm liking this new segment. So far, so good.
Yes. Are you feeling educated, Matt?
I'm feeling very educated, yeah.
This is great. This was the plan.
The problem is I have to sort of like try and keep it in my head. I can never remember the names of songs or anything, so it's just slowly ebbing away.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you could write them down. You could actually do a written review, which we could put on our blog. How about that?
What?
There you go.
You could do a written review, and we could put it on our blog. I've said it out loud now.
You have, yeah.
You're going to have to do it. You're gonna
Watch
have to
this space.
Yeah. Stay tuned, as they say.
So I think it's probably time now for all of us to grab our mugs. Grab your mug with your hot, soothing cup of cha or whatever it is that you've got in there, because it's time to relax. Put your feet up. Take some time, because it is time for This Day in History.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well done, Matt. I think we're cracking it every week. It gets
We
better.
finished at the same time.
Okay, so as Tracy mentioned, we're now in October. It is the 1st of October. Oh my goodness, not many shopping days till Christmas, that's for sure. And yeah, the weather's changed. The colours of the leaves are changing. We're definitely in autumn. And on this day in 1830, General Trade Journal newspaper began publishing in Amsterdam.
Ah,
Yeah. And in 1851, on this very day, the first Hawaiian stamps were issued.
ooh, I bet they're very-
Hawaii. Fancy that? Hawaii?
Yes, please. I'll take one for the team. I'm happy to go.
Oh, that's good of you.
Oh, so generous.
I
Yeah,
know.
you're a good sport. You're a good sport. Now, it seems that on this day, there was an awful lot of railways that were opening in the Netherlands.
Mm.
So in 1863, the Breda to Tilburg Railway opened. In 1866, the Eindhoven to Venlo Railway opened.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1898, the Alkmaar to Receiver opened. I mean, this all happened on this day, but on different years.
Oh, there you go.
What's
Popular
so special
day
about
for
this day
train
for
stuff.
opening a railway? I mean, it's a bit odd.
I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with the scheduling, because normally they change the train schedules in October. So maybe it had something to do with that.
You're a genius.
You never know.
I did not know that. Okay, well that makes sense. Okay, so we had stamps that were issued in Hawaii. On this day in 1869, the first postcards are issued, and that actually happened in Vienna, in Austria.
Wow.
Nobody sends postcards anymore, do they?
Yeah, you can still.
Did last time.
Did you?
When I went on holiday in August, I sent postcards home.
Did you?
I did, but they arrived like 2 weeks after I got home.
That's the problem. The postcard seems to take a lot longer. I think it's because all the posties like to read it before they finally deliver it. Something, I don't know.
I know there's these funky new apps now where you can actually put one of your own photographs onto a postcard and send it. So you receive, because we've had one from friends of ours who came over on holiday, and then they were driving off to other places around Europe, and they sent a postcard from where they were that had the photograph that was taken while they were visiting us.
Oh, right.
Which was
It's
really
kind
nice.
of nice. It's a bit of a step up from those Christmas holiday cards that people send.
Yeah. I think that's a very American thing, isn't it? The voice from above would probably be able to confirm that. But yeah, I think that's a very American thing.
Yeah.
I would certainly never do that. On this day in 1988, the National Geographic magazine was published for the first time. You're going to get good photos in there.
It's true.
I tell you, very good. High quality stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in 1908, Henry Ford introduces the Model T car. It cost $825.
Wow.
But
Not
not
bad.
in those days.
$825. That was really expensive in those days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really expensive.
But it's a Model T.
Yeah, well, yes. Everybody wants a Model T. In 1953, Playboy magazine is founded by Hugh Hefner.
Oh,
It premiered.
my favourite magazine, that one.
It premiered its first issue in December, so 2 months later, and it featured Marilyn Monroe from a photo shoot she did in the nude in 1949 when she was a struggling actress. And the first issue was actually produced in Hefner's kitchen with $8,000 that he had raised from friends, including $1,000 from his own mother.
Oh, well, there you go. I tell you.
Can you imagine the pitch, though? Look, Mum, I want to start a porn magazine, and I'm going to have Marilyn Monroe completely naked on the front.
Or maybe
Yeah,
he told
okay,
us
son,
something
here's
else.
$1,000.
He could have told us something completely different.
Or maybe he did actually. Yes, you could be right. He could have said actually, yeah, I'm going to start a magazine. Yeah, a magazine about cats.
Yeah, there you go. Really, Mum? Well, it's
So
still
the
going
first
strong
sold
today.
3,000 copies.
Wow, there you are, eh?
And then, of course, we know the rest is definitely history. It went on and on and on. And next thing you know, he's living in a mansion and there's lots of parties. And he was living his best life, that's for sure. In 1958, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration began operating, otherwise known as...
NASA.
Yay! And in 1960, on this very day, Nigeria becomes the 99th member of the United Nations. A couple of years later, in 1962, Brian Epstein signs a contract to manage the Beatles.
Ooh, that was a good move.
That was a big day. That was a big day, yeah. So in 1962, when it all kicked off, and he was like, oh, yes, this is a good idea. In 1969, Concorde, the 001 test flight, which breaks the sound barrier, issues a stamp through the post office with, this is a bit odd. They've got a dinosaur on there. I don't know what the connection was. They had a brontosaurus on the stamp that was supposed to be... I don't know what the connection was at all. Maybe somebody out there can tell us what that meant. But, the post office issued a stamp with a brontosaurus that was supposed to reflect the first test flight of the Concorde.
Okay.
Maybe it was the leap from dinosaurs to where man is today. I don't know. It's a bit odd. In 1970, Janis Joplin finishes recording her only #1 hit, Me and Bobby McGee, but she died 3 days later at the age of 27.
Yeah.
It only obviously became a #1 hit after she had died. But she was in the studio recording this amazing song, and then 3 days later she left us. And 27, of course, is famous for being one of those ages where an awful lot of our great singers have died. 27, it's nothing, is it? Nothing. Yeah. And finally, in 2017, former NFL star O.J. Simpson is released from Nevada's Lovelock prison after less than 9 years of detention of his 33-year sentence for armed robbery. Ooh, controversial. Controversial. Now, birthdays. There was an awful lot of famous people born on this day. Oh, my goodness. The 1st of October, Bonnie Parker, the American outlaw of Bonnie and Clyde fame. She was born in 1910. Jimmy Carter, the American president, born in 1924. 4 years later, in 1928, George Peppard, famous for...
the 18.
And Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, right.
Favourite films, actually.
I've never seen it.
I was expecting that
really
from Matt,
boring.
but not from you, Tracy.
I'm so sorry. Oh, no. Really?
Yeah.
Tracy.
Well, I'm going to have to watch that for my homework, maybe.
You are definitely going to have to watch Breakfast. You will love it. You will absolutely love it. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is not a good time to be speechless.
No. Keep going with the birthdays, dear. Oh my goodness.
Okay, here's a firm favourite. In 1935, Julie Andrews was born, the British actress and singer of Sound of Music and Mary Poppins. We love Julie Andrews. Houston Endor, the Senegalese singer, was born in 1959. Here's one for you, Tracy. Keith Duffy.
From Boyzone. Gladstone fame and Coronation Street.
Well done. He was born in 1974.
Bless him.
See, I can never. I always get them confused because you've got Boyzone
And Westlife.
And Westlife.
Yes.
So I can never remember who's in what because they're
exactly
to me.
Indeed, yeah. It's a tricky one. But once you know, I guess.
Well, okay, yeah. Once you know. That's one for a teacher. In 1989, Brie Larson was born, the American actress, famous for Captain Marvel and Room, who was born in Sacramento, California. So lots of really famous people.
I have a birthday.
You have a birthday? Oh, who?
Tomorrow it's my grandfather's birthday and he's 80 years old. So happy birthday. And I hope you have a lovely day in quarantine.
Bless. Birthday. And anybody else who's got a birthday coming up, have a wonderful day, whatever it is that you are doing. Happy birthday. And that was This Day in History.
Yay! Woohoo! Well done, dear.
Thank you very much. So there you go. It's a day for opening railways and for famous people to be born.
Apparently so.
No. And we shall swiftly move on because very shortly we're going to have Agita joining us to talk about vocal training and what it's like to be a soprano here in Maastricht. But before we get to Agita, we're going to have Tracy with the news, I believe.
Yes, I'm ready to go.
Tracy Taylor with the news.
Thank you, Joe. Good evening, everyone. It's October 1st, and you're watching the Maastricht edition. First, a look at your weekend weather, and it's going to be a mix of sunshine and rain over the coming days with highs of just 16. Some strong winds are also expected on Sunday. Moving to your bulletin for tonight, and we have news of new smoking laws, well done France, and high pause. But first, for the first time in over 4 weeks, there was a fall in the number of COVID-19 patients being treated in Dutch hospitals. There were 691 patients today in total, 10 fewer than last week Wednesday. 152 of the patients were in intensive care, however, which was an increase of 2. Belgium has now issued a code red travel warning for Noord-Brabant, Gelderland, Flevoland and Groningen. Anyone who spends more than 2 days in one of these provinces must undergo coronavirus test and quarantine upon their arrival in Belgium. A Belgian code red travel advice already applies to Noord-Holland, Zuid-Holland and Utrecht. The Netherlands Trade Union Confederation wants free face masks to be made available for people who live at or around the minimum wage. The trade union made this appeal in a letter to the municipalities across the country. In other news, dog owners in the Netherlands have been warned by police to stay alert when walking their pets after they found pieces of sausage left on the street with nails inside. Police have little information as to who is carrying out this cruel action, but they have asked walkers and owners to be aware of what dogs do and eat when out for walks. The Dutch police is asking anyone with information to come forward. And the largest wind farm on land in the Netherlands officially opened in Ringermeer yesterday. The wind farm will consist of 82 turbines that can generate power for around 370,000 homes. And as of today in the Netherlands, smoking is officially disallowed at all the country's train stations and platforms. Tobacco sales are also banned from station shops. Today also marks the start of Stoptober, an annual campaign where tens of thousands of people tried to quit smoking for 4 weeks. And France has said it was gradually banned the use of wild animals in travelling circuses as part of sweeping new animal welfare measures. A ban on farming minks for fur and on keeping dolphins and orcas in captivity in marine parks has also been announced. The move has been hailed as an historic victory by leading animal rights groups. And finally tonight, a reminder that this Sunday, October 4th, is World Animal Day. Still time to arrange something special for your fur baby, hooved buddy or feathered friend. And of course, you can also join the mission to raise the status of animals in order to improve welfare standards around the world. And that's it for tonight. For more local news, you can follow RTV News in English on Facebook and Instagram. If you are a local business, be sure to check out the Support Your Local Business South Limburg Facebook page, a joint initiative between #Maastricht and the Maastricht Edition. And if you want to discover events, concerts and cultural activities going on in Maastricht and the surrounding areas, head on over to the website of our partner, maastrichter.com, to check out their awesome calendar of events. You can also follow them on social media. And don't forget that you can always find us on the Maastricht Edition Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, on Reddit, and on Instagram. For all the details, check out the maastrichtedition.nl.
Nicely done, our Tracy.
Thank you, darling.
Lovely stuff. Yeah, it's all kicking off again, isn't it? We've got more mask action happening. Nobody's, it's suggested not to go to work, to stay at home, although many of us are staying at home anyway. But something I did notice actually during the news there, Tracy, it really has got dark all of a sudden.
I know. I looked down to read the news and I've looked up and it's black outside.
Yeah,
it's
so quick. It's so quick. And we're all starting to get this orangey hue from our lights, I think, actually. So, yeah, looks like we've got a bit of a tan. Natalie's joined us from the US. Hello, Natalie. She's in the house. Caroline, we've got Mark. We've got Paul in South Africa. He's with us this evening. I know, isn't that lovely? And we've also got Katrina as well. Good evening, one and all. Nice to have you with us. And somebody else who has joined us now. We've got the a lovely Egita who is joining us. Hello, Egita. Good evening. Hi, Egita. Okay. Oh, I think we need to unmute you. Actually, it looks like you're muted. We can't hear you.
Oh no.
Can you see me? Can you hear? But we can't hear you. I wonder if the voice from above can help us out here, because we can't actually hear Agita at the moment. There we go. I think she's with us. Good.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, Agita. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me tonight.
How are you?
To be back. I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Yeah, as fine as we can be.
Yes, absolutely. Now, we have had you on the show before because you joined us actually in the studio.
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago. I was together with my one of my duo partners, Petronella Turin. And we have a duo together, Opera Cellissimo, where we bring together Nordic music with a cello and a voice.
Mm-hmm. But that's been a bit difficult to do lately, I think.
Yeah, that's true. But we try to record in the meantime some songs. We are still enthusiastic and we hope that we can have something with Christmas, because every year we have a special Christmas program as well, where we go sing Christmas songs and also some traditionals from northern countries like Latvia, Sweden and Denmark or Norway. Mm-hmm. So we are keeping our fingers crossed that something can still happen, and if not, then of course, as a lot of artists, we are also exploring online possibilities, something similar what you are doing with your radio show. Since you can't be in a studio, we also can broadcast our shows online.
Yeah, I think that's certainly the way forward for a lot of musicians now. They've got to look at other ways of getting the music out to the audience.
Yes, because it's a part what we are doing, and it's really hard not to perform and not to make music. So
for our listeners who maybe didn't see you the first time you were on the show, where were you? But maybe you could remind everybody where you're from and how you ended up in Maastricht.
I'm from Latvia, but 10 years ago, I decided to go on exchange mission from music academy where I was studying, and I really wanted to come to the Netherlands. And luckily, I got accepted in Conservatorium Maastricht. I really fell in love with the small city. I had a great teacher here, which I also really liked, and I'm very thankful to him for everything what I learned. His name is Axel Everard, so I decided to come and study here after my exchange. I learned more about Netherlands. I didn't know if I want to stay here or not, because not like my aim was really to do a lot of opera at that time. But I met my husband and I decided to locate it here in Maastricht, and that's where I am still 10 years later, finished with my studies and building my vocal studio and just looking for music partners here in Maastricht and in area.
Wow. Fantastic. Well, I know you have a very successful career here as a singer, but of course you do give vocal training as well. Now, anybody who follows you on Instagram will know that every day you're putting these fantastic little videos on with some tips and tricks on how to look after your voice, how to improve your singing. So maybe you could tell our listeners exactly what the process is that people would be going through if they came to you.
I am also giving singing lessons to interested persons. I'm working with a lot of very different ages, different levels. We also work on different styles. I have singers who go strictly only classical music, but I have a lot of ones who also want to sing musicals or pop music. So in the lessons, we work on a lot of different aspects, because I truly believe that our voice, it's not only sound what we are making, since the voice is in our bodies. So our body is instrument with which we are playing, getting our voice out. So in my lessons, we learn about body posture, we learn about breathing. Very good, very good. Holding up. And then, of course, we work on different vocal technique. We learn, for some students, it's a lot of work to learn to just make sounds, because even all of us can talk. Singing can be different than talking. So you need to dare and you need to learn how to make these singing sounds. And then we explore different music. We sing songs together. We learn new songs, and that's basically what we are doing in the lessons.
One question I have, Akita, is can everybody sing? Does everybody have like a possibility of being a good singer, or is it also about how you're born, how you develop? How does it work?
I knew that I am going to get this question. And I believe that almost everyone can sing, because if you can talk, you have the right muscles. Our vocal cords, they are two very, very tiny muscles positioned here. And it's actually a question about training them. And it's the same. If almost everyone who is able to walk is able to train to run a marathon. There will be persons who will be able to train to do it in half a year. There will be ones who will need a year, but maybe for someone it will take 5 to 10 years. Okay. And it's similar in singing. You just need to start, and you need to train your two small vocal folds to respond. Of course, in singing, you also need to work with ears, because we need to train our hearing. It's not only repeating any sound that we are hearing, but the sound which, of course, fits with the harmony and other things. So it's a little bit more complicated. But if you are dedicated and you are ready to put in time, and singing gives you joy, yes, you can become a singer. I cannot always promise that you will become the great singer and suddenly make a career. There are a lot of other things, because their talent is involved in the process as well. But very often people who maybe do not have so much talent, they are not born with such a beautiful voice, with putting in a hard work, they can achieve the same or even better results than someone who has a talent but never do anything with the voice.
Interesting.
There is hope out there.
There is. It's quite funny actually, Matthew, because I was going to ask Agita exactly the same question as you, but I have a second question. So I have an alternative one. Agita, with everything that's going on recently with COVID and how this is all having an impact on people's lives in general, how important do you think singing is to our mental health these days? Do you think it's a good way to get some happy endorphins floating around? Would you encourage people to consider this?
Oh, I for sure would encourage to try singing. Like, it doesn't need to be singing lessons, but of course that's a nice step, because yeah, even if you try to hum along a song which you hear on the radio, it can bring you a good emotions. But if you are really able to sing a song, or even have a small karaoke night with your partner at home or with a family whom you are living together, it can really bring a lot of positive emotions. So I think it's really important to, have a positive attitude towards the life, especially during now when we are trying to look for everything what can cheer us up. And why not to do these karaoke nights when it is getting very dark outside, and you can learn something new. It's maybe better than watching Netflix every evening, just trying to sing.
I do believe actually we've been threatening for a long time that there would be a Maastricht edition team night out that involved karaoke, but we never got round to it, and it's not going to happen for the foreseeable future, that's for sure. But of course, learning how to sing is one thing, but another big element of this is performance, of course, because if you want to actually be able to sing in public, you have to have the confidence to be able to perform. And is that something else that you talk about as well?
Yes, and in general, in my singing lessons with students, we work towards the ending product, towards a performance. And normally there would be a small student concert organized. Now it's not happening. And also before, not always all the students would have participate, because they say, I really just do it for myself, for my fun. So it's always a student's choice. But even if they say, no, I am not going to perform, it's for me, for my fun, I still work with that there is an ending product, that you are able to present the song, that it's not only repeating right notes in the right order, but that also you send a message. And we talk about text, we talk why did composer wrote it like this, why would you sing here louder, and why here you would use more quiet voice, what other expression things you can use. So it's not only getting some kind of sound out, but it's actually getting music out with a meaning. Because otherwise I can just put in it in phone, in piano, and it will play out the melody. Sure. But when a person does it, that gives extra.
But it's funny you should say that, because somebody has just asked a question, actually, which is, if somebody came to you who wanted to perform as a singer in a death metal group, would you be able to teach them something?
It's I would need to look at
because that's growling, isn't it? I mean, that's a lot of that is just it's like this guttural kind of growl that comes up.
Yeah, but you still need to be able to do it in a way that you do not harm your voice, because you have only 2 of these vocal folds. If you use them in a very brutal manner, and these metal group singers, they perform, they sing whole concert, but if you are very harsh on your vocal folds, they will probably, after 10 minutes, they will give in. So there you need to have some technique, even under growling and just making hard sounds. It needs to be done with a care towards your voice.
So what are your top tips for keeping your vocal cords in good condition then?
So I would say keeping your body in a good condition will also help your vocal cords be in a good condition. So I would say enough sleep, because if you do not sleep well, your voice will not respond well. Drink enough water. That's what I always repeat to my students. That's when you can also see me talking on my Instagram page a lot about hydration over everything. That would be tip number 2. And tip number 3, Yeah, be careful. Do not go and scream for hours. Do not scream outside in a cold air.
Well, you'll get arrested for that, for one thing.
Well, that's a whole other discussion, isn't it?
So if people want to come and have some lessons with you, Agita, what's the best way of getting in contact with you?
I am very open to all kind of contacts. People can contact me through the Facebook, through the Instagram. I think you have tagged my name under this. So
Yes.
yeah, you can also just search my website, which is egitahealan.com, and send me a message through there. My email address is there, so you can contact me through email. So everything is possible. I am open to all ways.
And of course, Instagram, as we mentioned, because you're always posting on Instagram all kinds of really interesting stuff, either about your day personally or to do with singing. I mean, it's great fun following you on Instagram.
Yeah, that's another. I started to do it when all the quarantine started because I just wanted to have some aim to do something, and I have met so many wonderful people, other singers, to exchange experiences and knowledge. But I also have actually had some new students who joined in online lessons for all over the world. So that has been really great, and I see not future, but I see it working out. So Instagram, always welcome to contact me there.
Excellent. So any of you out there who fancies yourself as a bit of a singer and wants to learn more, then please do get in contact with Agita. We'll put all of your details all over our social media. We'll splash it about like we do. It's been lovely to see you again. Let's keep our fingers crossed that the next time we see each other, it will be in person, and we get to hear your lovely singing voice somewhere in Maastricht where we could all be cozy together. Because we're missing the live music scene, that's for sure. We really are missing it. So good luck with the coming winter, whatever that holds for us. And hopefully we'll see you again soon, Agita.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, lovely.
Such a nice
That's
lady.
nice. So do you fancy some singing lessons, Matt?
Yeah, sure. Where I come from, you're supposed to be able to sing anyway.
Oh, yes,
Well,
that's true. The Welsh.
I mean, if you're Welsh, it's kind of in the DNA, surely.
Yeah.
Shirley Bassey's
apparently.
got a new album out.
Oh,
Oh.
I know, she's about 208 years old, for Christ's sake, and she's just released
Bless
another album. I mean, it's astonishing. The woman is just that power in her voice that she's still got, just absolutely astonishing.
She's had good training, probably.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it's all in the genes. Caroline's in the house. Hi, Caroline. Camelia's with us as well. Good evening. Nice to have you with us. Before we go on to Matt's section, I think it might be worth asking me a question.
Oh, right. Shall I do it? I'll do
Go on,
it.
then.
Jo,
Yes.
what do you know this week that you didn't know last week?
Well, it's funny you should ask me that, Tracy,
Ooh.
because actually I've got a couple of things that I thought were rather interesting that I found out.
Do tell.
A tree which has darker leaves than the surrounding trees can indicate there's a dead body buried beneath it.
Oh.
No way. Really?
Yes.
That's
So the
quite
next time,
cool.
Tracy, that you're out jogging
Oh. In
and
the
you pass some trees,
camp.
and you'll have to get in quick because the leaves are falling now, but so you'll have to, maybe tomorrow would be a good time.
Right, I'll go.
But
Really?
yes.
But it
Well,
could be like an animal body, right? It doesn't have to be like a human.
I'm really hoping
Oh, Matt.
Talk about a scene from Criminal Minds. Wow. But good
Yes.
to know. Good to
And the second thing that I found out, starlings that have been given the opioid fentanyl will sing songs in the style of free-form jazz.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. I'm not sure I agree with starlings being given stuff.
I've got no idea why they've been given this in the first place. I didn't pursue that, but It just made me laugh that there'd be a starling sitting in the tree in my garden going.
There's one there. Where is it?
There it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that starling now. So there you go.
Wow, that's
Isn't that
quite
bizarre?
very bizarre. Very bizarre. I'll keep you posted on the tree thing though.
Yes, and
Take a shovel.
speaking of jogging, Tracy, last Sunday you went for a run.
Yes, that's right. Oh, it was only just a 5K, nothing to write home about. But I did do. I did do what I had hoped to do, so that was the main purpose of the day. So there we go.
Yeah, you did a fine job. Raising money for Run Pink Moldova, which is a cancer charity. So and please, 5K is a long way. Most of us.
I made it to the gym on Saturday. I'm still aching today.
There you go.
Matthew. But Matthew used like what kind of things do you use at the gym, Matt? Treadmills or
What's that, Tracy?
it's the treadmill thing, that they
That's
walk
stepper.
on. Stepper, oh God.
Stepmaster, isn't it?
Stepmaster, Stairmaster, I don't know.
Stairmaster.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Did you?
Yeah, we go to the
No, I
gym
didn't.
all
I
the
used
time.
the
We know
bike.
what we're talking about. It's just
I look like how my mom dances at weddings.
very attractive. Very
Yes,
attractive. But
okay.
well done, Tracy. And also Adina, a friend of the show, Adina Petra from Insights. She was out there doing her stuff as well. But there was loads of people there, I believe, and they did a fantastic job. Loads of money was raised. So well done them. Right, Matt, what have you got for us this week?
Well, this week on Matt Goes Dutch, I'm going to give you a bit more history
Aha.
because I'm enjoying it. So you're going to have to
Okay,
take some
fair
history again.
Well, Karina's enjoying it because she's just joined us.
Perfect.
Okay.
So I thought I'd tell you about, well, on our Instagram post, I told you about the Helpoort, which is the oldest standing city gate in the Netherlands, built in the 13th century. But I thought I'd tell you a bit more about some other fortifications that you can see in the city. A nice COVID-friendly outing for you. You can go and pop over to the Fronten Park, which is over by the Sphinx. So behind the Lumiere Cinema, there's a new park called the Fronten Park, and there used to be a big motorway bridge crossing there, and it's now been taken down, and there's a big viewing point on the old bit of the motorway. So if you go a bit further into the park, you'll also find like the star-shaped fortifications from the 18th and 19th centuries, when Maastricht was a very important fort city, and it was very strategically important for going north and south and crossing the River Maas. So the city had to be really well fortified, and which is why we have Fort St. Peter on the St. Petersburg. But if you go further over to that side of the city, you'll see lots of these remains. And for a long time, they were left abandoned. And they were left over from when in the 19th century they decided to knock a lot of them down so they could expand the city beyond the walls. But these parts of the city stayed because it became part of the city harbour. So there used to be a lot of trade in that area. And eventually when that stopped, they were sort of just abandoned. And then they became an important nature reserve for lizards and snails and lots of little insects and things. So things you wouldn't like think are cute or anything, but are still very important. So if you go there, you can go and walk along there's a canal that links the Lage Fronten with the Hoge Fronten, which is to the north of the city. And along this canal, there's a lot of like nature walls where these animals live in little cracks in the walls. And there's also rare plants as well. So be careful when you're there, but do go and have a look. And yeah, so it's a nice outing, but maybe when it's a bit drier, you can take an umbrella and go for a wander. And it's a nice walk. I did it once with Meet Maastricht. So maybe if they're organising new tours, we'd also go with Lucy. She can tell you more about them.
Excellent.
Very cool.
Good idea, Matt. Like it a lot.
Very nice.
Yeah. And let's hope the weather stays with us if we're going to be going out and about, of course. Because, but you just, do you know what? You just don't know the way the weather's going. It's changing everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if we're bathing in hot sunshine come Christmas. You just don't know.
Be prepared for everything.
Well, we haven't got much time left. We're coming towards the end of the show. So, Tracy, have you got any titty bitties for us?
Yes, I do. And I have to say again, I am delighted to be able to bring you a segment of weekly event highlights, courtesy of #Maastricht, who are the folks in the know for things to do in this city. I've got three little suggestions for you this weekend. On Saturday, 3rd of October, Diony's Palace, which is the one and only Disney shop of Maastricht, is celebrating its 5th year birthday. So that's cool. So if you're into Disney stuff, you can pop by the Maria Straat, and maybe there's some special events and little gifts to be had, so that could be quite fun. Also on Saturday, and this is a shout out in general to the creative folks at Space and Material, and they have a lot of really fun and exciting workshops coming up in the next weeks and months, all very COVID-19 in mind, so you can pop along. This Saturday there's actually a botanical illustration workshop, which I myself shall be attending.
Oh,
I know, so it's quite fun. I believe now tickets are sold out for this particular one because it's only a max of 5 or 6 people. But if you check out online on Facebook and Instagram at Space and Material, you can see what they've got on offer. And there's everything from using a knitting machine to hand spinning to making paper flowers. It's all very cool and not terribly expensive at all. And the last one, also in Maastricht, but on Sunday, the 4th of October, which is also World Animal Day, there's a special vintage and second-hand market taking place in the Week area of Maastricht. So a lot of the shops are going to be selling little bits and bobs, and it's all got that kind of vintage and second-hand theme. So weather permitting, it might be a nice way to spend a bit of your afternoon.
fantastic.
There we are.
Lovely stuff. And I also believe there is an online dancing event that is starting this week. I'm just trying to find it. Bear with me because...
The Nederlandse Dansdagen.
I beg your pardon?
The Nederlandse Dansdagen.
There you go.
Wow.
I think it's on for about a week, if I remember rightly. Where is it? Yes, it's the Dutch Dance Festival, which places the heritage, topicality and future of Dutch dance centre stage.
Ooh.
It presents, celebrates and encourages the diversity of the sector for a national and international general and professional audience. So check that out. It's going on for about a week, I believe, and it's all online. So there's lots of dancing.
Very nice.
Lots of dancing, which kind of fits in with the music theme of what we're doing this month. So that's great. Excellent stuff. So
Awesome.
that's it. So whatever it is that you're doing over the coming week, do it safely. Thank you for joining us. It's been lovely to have you here. Thank you to Agita. Don't forget, if you're a budding singer and you want to get some lessons, then please do get in contact with Agita, and she will have you topping the charts, backing for Elton John before you know it.
Fabulous.
That was that's Matt's wish, isn't it?
Not really.
Oh. Performing at Eurovision, maybe that's better.
That's
Yeah,
more
maybe
fun.
we should. Yeah, let's go for Eurovision. The team, we as a team should be entering Eurovision.
The Iceland entry from this year that should have happened. That would be great.
Yes,
That'd
absolutely.
be quite
Absolutely.
cool.
But it's been great fun. Thank you everybody for joining us. Lovely to see you. Thank you for all the birthday wishes that we had over the week. It was so nice to have you join us at the weekend, and we really appreciate all the wishes that you sent us for our birthday. I know you haven't seen our Jason, but he has been working in the background, so thank you for Jason for playing with his knobs as he does so well. We shall see you next week. We're continuing with the music theme. We have another special guest coming up next week who has a very special connection. Ooh, who could that be? We shall see. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you again next Thursday. Thanks ever so much.
Thanks for watching.
Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.